a typical...
The creeps haven't spawned yet, though.
That's perfect.
So you gotta go behind the creeps, right?
You want last hits.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you don't want last hits. You want kills. You farm by enemy heroes, all right?
Okay.
Those suckers are about to learn what happens.
So don't kill the creeps?
I want you to go up here. We're gonna perform a gank. All right?
Gank.
Go up.
Isn't that when we gang up on someone?
That's right. There we go.
Where is he? Right now?
Yes.
Right now?
R button and then click. Kill him! Boom! Keep hitting him. Casey, we've got this.
Do I keep hitting R? Wait, why is he going away?
He's running for his life. One more click.
Shit!
I
got you!
Gotta click him.
I'm clicking!
One more.
I'm clicking!
Get out of there!
I'm clicking! Why did I die?
You did great! Boom!
Ganked.
Suck it! That's the Viper.
Suck it!
Two guys.
Oh, that guy?
Okay. Right.
Oh, Dragon Knight!
R button.
I hate
R
Dragon.
button.
Right now?
Yep.
Come on! Do I keep hitting the R button or
Yes!
just...
Yeah, Casey, get him! Get Wraith King. They're all out of position. Hey, Casey, don't look away! Wraith King's coming right back. Get him right there. Click him. Yes,
leaving.
Yes,
leaving.
Casey.
Yes.
Yes.
Get out. Where did I go? Where am I in this map?
You're killing everybody.
I don't know where I am. On a killing spree. I'm on a killing spree.
Times have changed.
Yes.
He's melting to your powers. Now Wraith King. He's the last survivor. That's it, Casey. Click him down. This is how we play Mega Kill. Cry it out.
My fingers hurt. So then why are people going like this so much?
Panicking, they're clicking on
No, but I don't understand because I don't understand because with if I click one of these instead of right clicking, I'm supposed to left click.
What? You're 14 and 9. What's this? These idiots. You were a great carry.
I was a great carry.
You were
I
fine.
thought I was mid.
You know, I have to say, even though we figured out halfway through that you were telling me the wrong thing on one of those things, that was very helpful.
Thank you. Yes, I know some people get poor coaches like Purge, and then what do they do? But with a real coach, you can be very successful. Let me say.
What's it like for somebody like you who's been playing this forever and then having to, this is why I don't ask people for help, because I feel like it's annoying for somebody like you to have to teach an idiot.
It's not annoying. The best thing in the world is for people to teach Dota players how to play. It's amazing. It's fun. It's dragging their friends into their own personal hell. It's amazing. So, yes, of course it was fun teaching you, and Easy Bots, they got us this time, but we'll get them next time, Casey. It's not over.
You said I get to play against humans next time, right?
Yeah, that's
like
gonna...
real people?
It's totally gonna work. It'll be great.
You think?
Yeah.
Before this week is out, I want to play humans.
Okay. We got it.
Is that bad?
No, that's perfect.
Can't we got it?
We got it.
Can I play mid again? Was I mid?
You were something.
Back to you guys.
Casey, I'm so glad you're getting to actually play the game. And remember, you might feel a little self-conscious asking people for help.
Yes.
It's never annoying for a Dota player. In fact, Dota players never shut up once you start talking about Dota. It is their favorite thing.
That's what I love about you all. It's amazing. I have
guys.
some more follow-up questions for later.
Yeah, okay. We'll get
Good.
to it.
Strong. Stay strong. Never stop picking Viper. Everyone on your team will thank you. Now, guys, did you ever start off Dota playing Viper? I mean, you guys have been playing way longer than I have, but that was like my first pub stomp hero, man.
Slara was my first hero. I bought 3 Gauntlets of Strength, and I went mid, and I died. Not a great start, but...
Dude, early Dota stories, always the best. Of course, with the horns sounding, that means that teams are ready to head down to the main stage. Our first competitors did beautifully in their group, fell to lowers, and are fighting for survival. Let's bring them out. They are the TNC Pro Team. We talked about it up here on the panel. TNC had drafts in the upper bracket that didn't really set them up to shine versus LFY. Going up against them is a legendary team with 4 majors under their belt who've historically struggled at every TI. Will they be able to succeed today? It's Team OG. Okay, you've had the chance to follow these players for a long time. What is OG doing differently in this tournament that will allow them to step forward?
I think they need to see from the games from the group stage and just see which games that worked well for them and why the games that they lost, why those games didn't work for them, and just try to find their own play style and just get the right feeling on how they're gonna win the games.
The games that I've seen OG succeed is where you have no-tail on some sort of soft carry, like a 2 position, playing out of the safe lane, having Ana mid on the 1 position, whether it's an Invoker, a TA, Storm Spirit, Ember Spirit, one of those heroes where he can really scale well into the late game. I think
Alchemist as well.
Alchemist, definitely. I think that's where OG excels, and I, in interest of seeing them win, I would hope that they would stick to something similar.
Ana, of course, an all-star player for OG. Went off with Alchemist earlier on in the tournament. We got the chance to catch up with Ana outside the game.
You could be any animal, what would you be? Maybe a dog, because you just eat food. That's all. You're happy with that, right? What's your favorite food, then? Fish. Oh, what did you eat? Where would you want to live if you could live anywhere?
I'd live right here in Gainesville.
What's the first time you got grounded? What for?
I don't know, maybe playing too much Dota.
Sounds about right. Same, dude. I can't say much. Playing Dota, game is life.
It's just a piece of art.
Yeah. It's a piece of art, apparently.
What's the song you play most now?
Michael Jackson. Which one? Man in the Mirror, dude.
Yeah, it's a good song.
It's a good song, man. So, James, what's your favorite sound? I like the Dota 2 match popping sound. I know, what's your favorite part of the day? Going to bed.
Hey, if you guys could throw a party with really big budget, who would you invite?
I think I would invite all my teammates. And wait, you guys? Oh, that's nice. What would it be like while drinking? Like passing out after 2 beers? Yeah. Oh yeah, you know what I mean? 2 beers? 2 beers at a time? Yeah.
Just hold LAN party, to be honest.
LAN party? Yeah. Oh, you play Dota vodka? When you kill someone, you make someone drink.
What would you change by your past?
About myself?
I guess so.
I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
This is just me, dude. Are you serious?
Hey, if you guys would fall off a building, what would you guys regret? Not the best time to ask, is it?
Yeah, dude, we're gonna die, man. I probably regret wanted to go to Japan.
James, save me, I'm falling.
Alright, if you could have a superpower, what would it be? Flying.
Hey, Anna, what was your favorite toy as a child?
Maybe a bike? Does that count? What? What's it funny? Bike? A bike? Yeah, sure. Why not? I used to do that a lot. How did you ask your first girlfriend out? I think I went to her place, actually. Yeah. And then I asked her out. Actually, no, I forgot. You have to get a word tattooed on your forehead. What would it be? Forehead.
That's forehead.
What if you actually get something like this tattooed. Like smaller.
No.
If anything, I get a dog, man.
Hey guys, what's the meaning of life?
Chase a dream.
I think it's the connections you make with other people. It's the most important. What about you?
Well, it's winning lottery. No, I'm kidding. Being happy?
Yeah.
That's about it.
Your own happiness.
Get some good sleep. Meaning of life.
The meaning of life is actually those cats. Me and Ake were so hyped when we saw the cats, man.
Cat buddies.
I know. When Ake and I first met earlier this week, we pulled our phones out, shared cat photos. It was very hype. And now onto the elimination match, Merlini.
I'm allergic to cat people.
Oof. Wow, that's allergy by proxy.
Quickly.
So it's an interesting second-order allergy you have. Now, we've talked a little bit about, how OG, PPD, you want to see them focus a little more around Ana in terms of, the position, and TNC. We've talked generally about them not having as focused drafts in the winners brackets. What's the kind of draft that you'd like to see TNC pull out to succeed against OG?
I think they have a lot of flashy heroes that they need to really just commit to, especially in this lower bracket. You need to come out with your best stuff.
Flashy heroes like Viper.
No, like Tinker.
Queen of Pain is one of Cookie's favorites. So
yeah, something really let your, they have these, Southeast Asia has amazing Dota players, like all across the board. And we talked about them the other day, really just kind of lacking the leadership and the practice mentality of, what is it actually going to take for us to rally together and win? And 1437 has brought this to that team, but you still need to let them flex on their strengths. And that's letting them play these heroes that they are capable of showing how good they actually are.
I think TNC was one of the few teams to choose Tinker several times leading up to this, correct?
Yes, they're one of the only teams that's actually picking it at any somewhat regular.
I mean, we haven't seen him at all on the main stage, either in pick or ban. Merlini, what's your assessment of Tinker as a hero in the current meta?
I think there's a lot of better mids. Nyx Assassin also super popular. Clockwork, Night Stalker, a lot of his soft counters are in the pool.
That is a great point. Yeah, I mean, Ake, you brought that up yesterday, that if you have a Nyx just going to mid, mana burning the intelligence-based heroes, there's not really that much that heroes like Queen of Pain or Puck can do to clean up against it.
Can't do anything. And if you pop a Clarity, then he's going to just mana burn you again. So it's not really anything that you can do. And Nyx is also a very tanky hero, so they can't really easily kill him.
Yeah.
Just going around and getting bounty runes and mana burning mid. Life of Nyx.
Love it. Nyx.
I think one of the cool things that Tinker does for a lineup is he enables you to be very strong in team fights with your other 4 heroes. And Tinker can handle the enemy team split pushing. He can defend your towers. He works really well against a lot of the illusion heroes, especially with Aghanims and the laser, bouncing off of all the targets. He can work really well. It's just, when you have these vision heroes and the heroes you've been talking about, Nyx as well, it's just it's tough to pick him every game.
Sure.
But he's an amazing 4 or 5 pick.
I want to shift to talk a little bit about OG's struggles in the past, because we've talked about the fact that they haven't had successful runs in lower brackets at TI. But in terms of gameplay, what were some of the pitfalls they were falling into, that we might look for today and get anxious about if we start to see them pop up?
I think it comes down to what Peter said before, that they usually does best when Ana is on a position 1 hero and he has a really good game and they can play around him. And I think Notil is one of the best carriers that are able to do that, and that is why the team has been playing so well before. He's been able to play this PL to make he's aggressive. It's coming mid to gang and getting towers early, and he's very good at enabling Ana in that way.
They're very invested in Ana having a good game more than Notel having a good game, and sometimes we'll see Notel go mid on Death Prophet or Panda. That's where I really don't want to see them go. I think Notel is just not a mid player. I think Ana is one of the best mid players at this tournament, and they should play to that strength.
Well, I'm very excited to see if OG can overcome their curse, or if TNC, with the new captainship of 1437, can take one more step towards the grand finals. Let's get into game 1 of our first match of the day, TNC versus OG.
TNC Protein versus OG. Game 1.
The draft is just the best. I love the draft stage, man.
We saw some pretty hype games yesterday.
Oh, TNC first ban Alchemist.
It's not a bad strategy.
Love it.
We see very team-specific bans coming out, especially the later we get into this tournament. Teams start realizing what other teams are good at, and they start realizing what they're actually not so good against.
I loved when you pointed that out with Team Secret just going as anti-GH as possible, banning Wisp.
It almost worked.
Selecting Coddle first.
I think that they were in a great position to win that series yesterday. I think a couple key mistakes in that game 3, and we could have seen Team Liquid eliminated very, very easily.
Lich,
he's back.
First pick Lich.
Okay, you love Lich.
I love him.
Let's see what got overlooked.
You want to marry him.
Wisp and Earthshaker, both overlooked. A lot of teams up against the Lich will go towards heavy summon lineups, which can be directly countered by a second pick Earthshaker. So I'd be quite surprised to see TNC either to let Earthshaker go back to OG. I imagine they'll probably pick it for themselves with one of their 2 picks here, and then maybe look for a Furion or some sort of hero that has summons or can play really fast in between lanes.
I think that Lich is a good hero, but I think first picking him is quite scary as well, because he's, as we said, he's not a good hero to deal with summons, and Ench and those heroes are very good against him as well. So it really gives the opportunity to the enemy team to, and here we see the CM as well. It's like that hero that the VP picks, right? You see the Lich, who can't really move around a lot, and then you get the Maiden to be a little bit greedy.
Yeah, we saw VP pick that Maiden yesterday. I was not a huge fan of it, but it worked out really, really well. What we did see, they did do Crystal Maiden actually against the Lich, right? It was exactly supports, and CM was able to start in the jungle a little bit, but he was also able to move in between the mid and the safe lane and grab a couple kills. That game was a little weird for me just because I think the Beastmaster was feeding a lot, or he could have played better, and the Crystal Maiden and Nightstalker wouldn't have gotten all those kills.
And at least now here for OG, they're getting the Earth Spirit, who's actually a hero that can kill Maiden in the jungle if you can find her. So it's not the Kanka and Lich opening that VP was up against, but...
And if you're playing Crystal Maiden and Earth Spirit rolls on you with an Orb of Venom,
you're dead.
Yeah, most times Crystal Maiden has a clarity going, so first off, that's canceled. And you 140 mana for your freeze, and maybe you have 1, you definitely don't have 2.
I mean, I'm nearly certain Crystal Maiden is the slowest hero in the game, but also by a significant margin, right?
Treant Protector's pretty slow too. My 2 favorite heroes. Ice Frog, please.
One time.
I think Sand King got picked over Shaker because it's more flexible. I think they want to put Tims on a more aggressive hero a lot of times. Although we did see them pick Naga a lot, I still think they do better when he's on the Slaughter ES Sand King, or Slaughter Earth Spirit and Sand King rather. The Brew ban. Do you think they're going to pick a core that gets countered by Brew?
I think it's more about S4 that he's one of the best Brew players.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I think OG enabling S4 is a really good strategy for them. We saw the game where he was playing Panda. He got the 11-minute Blink Dagger or something.
Oh, he dominated start to finish in that game.
S4 is the kind of player who he knows how to cause initiations and he knows how to take smart fights. So having him kind of lead the direction of your team once he has that Blink Dagger is a really good spot to be in.
And that is also why it's quite hard to play against OG, because we have S4 and Ana who you don't really want to give a good game in the beginning of the game. But then you also have No-Tail who's very active, so it's very hard to shut all of them down.
Morphling ban.
Yeah, I mean, Ake, you mentioned earlier, Lich plus Morphling in the mid lane is an excellent way to circumvent the weaknesses of Morphling in the early game.
And it's also a way then for Ana to play a position 1 hero in the mid lane, and for them to make sure that he has a good game. So it's a very good ban from TNC.
Ben, you play a lot of carry, right?
Mm-hmm.
When somebody bans Morphling, what is something that you would want to play without a Morphling in the game? They just banned out the Naga, and Morphling's often great against heroes that build Radiance because you can replicate them and then have a Radiance on your side.
I think it's more so for the mid lane matchup. They know they can't shut down the mid lane because it's a Lich.
Oh, okay.
So
they're eliminating one of the hard carries that could present them problems.
Right. That could pretty much has a very easy early game because of the Lich.
Morphling's really good versus CM and Sand King. Any stuns are just no problem at all from Morphling because he can just morph strength and survive. Also, he built a Lincoln Sphere, which is great versus Sand King.
So there's still a ton of good heroes out there that we haven't seen banned at all. Like, I think Puck is still in the pool. Could be really good for S4 here. Hasn't been addressed because we see a lot of unusual bans here. Could be like Chaos Knight, which OG has been going for a lot with like no Shaker in the pool. And Shaker still hasn't been picked or banned.
Yeah, that's surprising to me.
I'm not the biggest fan of CK because they have the Sanking Stun and Crimson Maiden AoE if he can get the ultimate off to kill off the CK illusions. So
it's tough versus CK, but certainly CM is not the tankiest hero.
Yeah.
Well, also, I mean, we've seen several Chaos Knight games on the main stage, and if he gets kills and gets farmed, feels unstoppable. And if he doesn't even feel like he's in the game.
Notel's got one of the better senses for playing that hero, I think. We saw the CK yesterday really just roam around early and not get a lot done, but I think Notel's got a nice balance of being ready to fight, also moving to create fights.
There's also the Void DP combo, too, that's still open up for OG. There's
10 seconds.
Do they play Void on the safe lane then, or?
Yeah.
I think maybe Darkseer is a way for them to make sure that OG needs to help Notail as well. Because if they leave Notail against the Darkseer, then usually Darkseer farms a lot, and it's very hard to take the mid game when he gets his mech on Darkseer. But now they probably want to get a support there to help him out, and the Earth Spirit, he doesn't really want to be there.
He definitely doesn't want to be there. They probably want to pick somebody that can solo up against this Darkseer in lane. First thoughts, I think possibly Anti-Mage for OG could be an option.
Looking at the TNC lineup, what do you feel like of their current strengths?
Team fights.
Lots and lots of team fight. Good disables. Darkseer, no disables, but massive amount of team fight.
Set him up for the Sanking Stun, the vacuum to Sanking Stun, and Darkseer, he usually builds mech, and he can go pipe as well. So that really gives him a lot of magic resistance and health from the mechanism. So
Darkseer does a great job of enabling melee cores to be more effective in the early game with Ion Shell and Surge. So in these next two picks from TNC, we'll most likely see either one or two melee heroes to, bolster his strengths, which melee heroes don't actually match up that well versus Lich and Earth Spirit because of the proximity of how their spells work. And lots of AoE, and the closer people are together, the more damage they're capable of doing. Necrophos as well, with his aura especially, constantly on melee heroes throughout team fights.
And like there we have the hero that we were talking about that they can put on Notail that actually can solo against Darkseer. It does quite well.
It can solo over Darkseer?
Yeah, I think so. He can sustain, and
I haven't played a lot of the new Necrophos, so that's interesting.
The only problem is if Sanking drives by and gets an Ion Shell, but they're probably going to be ready with TP on Earth Spirit to be able to help him.
Ooh, Luna. Second appearance here on the main stage.
Look at that melee core I predicted, just popping right up right away. I'm on top of it, huh?
In your defense, Luna is the meleeest ranged hero in the game.
Yeah, people like to go melee range on Luna, right? So ideally, the Ion Shell should just work for itself.
She's
either way. When you're right, Peter.
So
yeah.
I think there's two ways to deal with the Necrophos.
I'm right.
As a carry, you can either pick a Diffusal hero, or you can pick a carry that does a ton of magic damage, and Luna fits in the latter position. I think we saw it picked versus Liquid, I think, was it?
Yeah, Team Secret snatched up Luna in that final game.
And it destroyed the Necrophos. They, as soon as he pops Ghost Rider, just bomb him with Eclipse.
I'd love to see OG head towards some Black King Bar heroes that built that item pretty naturally here. All four of these heroes definitely struggle against that item. Luna, a very magic-based damage carry for the early game until she gets a Manta and a Butterfly.
TNC is also getting a lot of more team fight here with the Luna, of course, with her ultimate, but also the aura, the lunar blessing that makes them being able to take down towers faster.
Yeah, Luna can be that frontliner for the team and go hit the tower. What they don't have is any kind of save to back her up.
So Centaur Warrunner for OG.
Alternatively to BKB heroes, they can build pipe wielders. Centaur, I think, he builds hood / pipe every single game. Very, very good versus their lineup. And also, we saw it paired up a lot, Centaur Warrunner versus the Luna matchup. And it's actually very problematic for the Luna. You just spam double edge on her. CM maybe not going to be in lane that much. And you're not really in danger of dying Eclipse because of the hood.
I want to ask the same question that I asked earlier, but for OG. How would you describe this lineup, its strengths right now?
Team fight and laning prowess. I think that they're set up to have a better early game with the Lich, and they'll probably take a decent early game advantage. I imagine Centaur will probably go hood first, or maybe even rush a blink, and he'll start looking for activity on the map. Darkseer being the 3 position is most likely going to be farming quite a bit more than the Sand King, who is most likely slotted as the 4. So we can expect an earlier Blink Dagger from OG and have them begin initiating fights, and TNC might be on the back foot until the 4 position Sand King catches up.
I mean, especially with the Earth Spirit, that wherever there's any weakness, he can bomb in so easily, transitioning into Centaur on a Blink Dagger.
It feels like that OG wants to kind of take the fight a bit back and forth. Like, they have the Centaur to be able to run out when Luna is coming in with her ultimate, and maybe they use the vacuum and wall on Darkseer.
Do you think we can expect a aggro tri-lane from TNC?
Could be. How is Darkseer against Centaur? It's quite even.
Fine. It seems fine.
If
Probably
they,
better for Darkseer.
Yeah,
Seems like a wash.
Yeah, they should just block the hard camp.
Oh, I see.
Otherwise, the Darkseer is just going to push out the wave and pull the hard camp and
Talk
just
about
farm
that.
a lot
Can you
more.
explain that? Can you explain that for everyone who doesn't know what you're talking about?
That the Darkseer puts iron shells on the wave and he pushes it out. So
I was talking about the ward.
Oh, the ward. He puts the the Centaur is going to bring a ward down to the bottom lane in case he's against the Darkseer, and he blocks the hard camp with the ward so it doesn't spawn. So
Yeah, the Darkseer pushes out the wave with Iron Shell, and then to take it to win the lane and to beat Centaur, he denies all of his creeps to the neutral hard camp there. So if Centaur wards that, then those creeps won't spawn, and that opportunity for him to, or for Darkseer to get ahead won't be there.
And here comes the Cuckoo, Queen of Pain.
Ana on Invoker, going to be versus Cuckoo on Queen of Pain. The draft is complete. Will TNC be able to let Luna get the farm needed to conquer in the end game, or will OG's building towards supporting Ana give them a victory here in game 1? Let's head down to the casters to get this match underway.
It's been a year, Lumi, yet it feels like this could be deja vu. In 2016, OG was shocked when TNC took them down 2-0 in a similar circumstance in the lower bracket, I believe in this exact same round, to eliminate them from the International. Only 5 players from that match remain heading into this tournament. The lineups have changed, perhaps the styles have changed. Do you think history will repeat itself?
I don't know, but we're about to find out. I think it's always very dangerous.
Oh, come on, you gotta give me better than that.
Okay, well, I was trying to get into it as you brutally cut me off. But I think it's very dangerous to assume that, hey, it's the same matchup. It's going to be TNC taking it again. But I think last year TNC in this position came in as a team that didn't expect to go too far. They were playing as if there's nothing to lose, whereas on the other side, OG, they're destined to win the last TI, right?
They started upper bracket, they got shocked by
exactly.
then they got bounced out.
Right, so I think mentality-wise, it's very different this year around. And coming in here, you could make the argument that TNC is supposed to be in the upper bracket still. They're supposed to be doing a lot better. They represent...
I mean, I don't know, I'm a little worried about OG. They're already asking for suggestions from the viewers. What items do they need?
Well, for Fly, he buys nothing. He buys wards. Maybe has 1 GG branch. He's going to buy Tango and keep sharing with his allies.
It's 2 very different ways of asking that same question, right? Yeah. Jarex is like, well, which of these amazing 4-position items that can change the game should I get? Fly's like, can I get boots? Please?
Well, the good thing for Lich is that you do have the high natural movement speed, so you don't maybe need the boots till a little bit later.
So, I think coming into this tournament, to expand on your point, you were talking about TNC, a very different mindset, where that core that got them, the big upset last year has stuck together. 3 of their players remain with a new captain, but similar formula, another North American player being imported in to hopefully lead the team to greatness like Demon did last year. So, you look at this matchup, they start in the upper bracket. It looked like versus LFY were just outmatched. What is kind of their trajectory heading into this game?
So I think they were outmatched by LFY because it wasn't the same TNC that did their bread and butter, right? They came into this tournament leading C with their own particular playstyle, which is, hey, we're going to Bat Rider Silencer you. This lineup that involves with a lot of precise team fight coordination. And I'm glad to see them that they're doing this again. Like yesterday, they picked Broodmother, which is not a Cuckoo hero. Only once in the last 6 months. These are not comfort picks for TNC that we saw yesterday. Today, however, this is all TNC special. We're going to see the beauty that is the Vacuum Burrow Strike. Tims and Sam H, I mean, I know they show Universe and Zai, like you called it the love story. This is the C love story. Like Sam H and Tims, they're mind linked when it comes to initiation. We're going to see some crazy combination for them.
All right, well, save the kissing until after the victory, TNC. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Cuckoo also playing one of his best hero. We'll see if he's going to be effective. He's only 50% in this tournament so far with the Queen of Pain, but this is probably his namesake hero. So this is a very good look for TNC. They're playing their strategy. They're playing with the comfort picks, and I think they're going to bring it to OG.
All right, the teams entering the fields of Dota. Game 1 of an elimination showdown begins now. So we'll see how the lane's set up here, Lumi. Looks like Sam H is going to be heading to the off lane as the Darkseer, so TNC looking very standard in their setup. S4 going off lane on the Centaur. Although as I say that, it seems like NoTel might be heading that way. It does even have a TP scroll. So it looks like for OG that they really want a particular laning configuration. Are they afraid of aggression here?
I think, as the panel suggested, they want to line up the Necro versus the Darkseer. It's a decent lineup. As the smoke comes, and Jerax, the perfect position, breaks the smoke in the high ground. And honestly, not too good of an initiation as he just throws some stones around.
Great minds thinking alike here. Cuckoo now going to try to trade out with Jerax a little bit. They do assume position to snag that bounty rune.
This is really big.
At the very least, they probably can get the bounty rune edge if they commit, but no, TNC are going to back away. So the smoke expended, a lot of damage done early. This Queen of Pain.
And more importantly, you force Queen of Pain to take Blink, so that's a lot of a harass that Ana doesn't have to deal with in the Shadow Strike. So
yeah, he does start with a lot of plus stats here, so already ate one of the 2 pulled tangos. He's going to be a bit late on regen in this middle lane.
I mean, that might seem like a small thing, but Jerax's move to break the smoke, force Blink on Queen of Pain, just gave Ana the lane that, like, for the first minute and a half, and he has got the better block, so.
And to make matters even better for OG, I believe they may have just seen this ward dropped up towards the top side, as Jerax had previously warded that exact same cliff, so they might even get a D-ward as well to start this laning stage. These are all little things. They don't directly translate into gold on the board, at least not in a major way, but indirectly can make a huge difference in the next 5-6 minutes. But top lane, this could make a direct impact. Burrow Strike coming through, looking for the first blood. S4 will go down. TNC grabbing that kill early.
LD, this is giving me the same deja vu. LGD ran a off-lane Beastmaster and Lich yesterday combination. And remember what happened? It was Beastmaster moving too forward before the Lich got Frost Armor. Same story here. If you're playing a offensive Lich lane, you definitely want to make sure that you hold back for a while and make sure you get level 2 on both of your heroes before you venture forward. Although with that said, OG does have the beneficial bottom lane, getting the matchup that they want, the Necrophos versus the Darkseer.
We are going to see Fly go for that D-ward now and eats the Dire ward. So OG, I mean, they already had the ward there, so they should really have the ability to dodge these ganks with full vision supremacy in the top lane for now, but a bit of a sloppy start gets them TNC rolling, and we'll see, meanwhile, this Necro versus Darkseer lane, is it